The reason behind PPF or the establishment of PPF was a concern from some of us with the involvement or the activeness of professionals in South Africa as a country. Middle class South Africans do want to get involved in assisting the government and assisting the ruling party. And many of them want to join the ruling party because they believe that they are where they are because of the ruling party, because of the policies that have been put in place by the ANC, including your BE, your affirmative action, your employment equity, and all of those policies are the ones that have ensured the creation of black middle class.
We have always believed that black professionals have a critical role to play in this society of ours. But we've always felt that we needed an organization of black professionals that is unashamed to say that it supports the African National Congress, the ANC, the vanguard of the people, because of the role that it has played in the political liberation of our people.
First, I really think we need to take ourselves very seriously. I think we need to appreciate the privileged positions we are sitting in and use them to benefit the collective. I think we must think like other progressive nations, like the Chinese. They think 50 years, as it were. And they don't do things for here and now for themselves. They do things for the next generation. But us, we seem to be preoccupied with our next BMW. We seem to be preoccupied with our next. We don't even create any platforms for our children. My children will come up, they don't have an enabling environment for them to prosper because we are so busy with our own selves.
The president re-energized us in terms of reminding us what we are about, and that we have not really begun to do what we said in our founding statements.
So it was launched 2013 August, and we invited the head of government, which is the president of the country, President Zuma, to launch the organization. The reason why we invited the head of government was that how PPF is structured, it is structured in line with the 7 government clusters. The reason for that was to have that seamless interaction.
Various structures of the PPF have been making fruitful contributions in the governance of the country by engaging with different government departments on the programs of making our country a better place for all.
The members of PPF want to be actively involved, so they are plugged into these 7 government clusters. Your cluster in economy, in infrastructure, international relations, security, so and so on. And that is where they do the actual work. That is where they do the research. That is where they are able to come up with proposals that are then filtered into the ANC, which is the ruling party, and also the actual government clusters.
We won't be able to support this country if we don't give our knowledge in the clusters that we have. We are not yet only talking about clusters as government clusters. Also, the ANC has their own clusters in regions and in provinces. That's how we are going to make our membership excited about PPF. Because if we're going to sit in our little corners and think that we want to do events and all those sort of things, we will not be able to challenge our members. So if our main focus is going to be on those clusters, that's where we have experience, that's where we're going to be able to make a difference.
We look a lot into policy formulation. So we decided that we invite a person that has an insight of policy in the ruling party, which is the African National Congress, and also government. So we invited Minister in the presidency, Minister Jeff Hadebe, who was basically wearing two hats, as the minister in the presidency and also the head of policy in the ANC.
Welcome the minister here. Thank him for. I also told this. I also invited him at a very short notice, but he obliged. And I think we must not take this for granted. I think this means it's a level of respect the minister has for the PPF. So can you please give Minister a round of applause? The minister sitting here is the representation across the country. There is no province that is not here. But Minister, over to you. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Jimmy, for having invited me to have this interaction with the Progressive Professionals Forum, which is unapologetically pro-ANC. I'm also not apologetic in wearing two hats. Because I don't see any contradiction between the ANC in government and ANC outside government, because without the ANC we will not be in government. What is the role of professionals in all this? So these are the questions that you yourself will be having better answers. I can just say that professionals are in fact the backbone of any society. They are the heartbeat. When professionals or the black middle class are the ones that have a barometer of society, it's because it is the professionals that teach our children. It is professionals that treat and care for our sick. It is professionals that provide legal services. It is professionals who run very important institutions in society, like political firms, like banks, government departments, the judiciary. It is professionals who design our roads, our bridges, our dams. So that is why I say you are the barometer. So if the mid-class and professionals are able, you will see it. So your role is very important in advancing the objectives of transformation in our country.
Of course, the other highlight for me was the interaction between ourselves and the Minister in the Presidency of Tlhabangani, Honorable Jeff Hadebe. It just shows the importance of sharing information, because at times we look at certain things that the government is doing and we can be critical because we don't have the information as to why the government is actually doing such things.
So we decided to invite him as a speaker. So he looked at the NDP and looked at some of the projects or initiatives that the government has put in place or is about to put in place, and also try to link the programs within the African National Congress and government, and also the role that we can play as professionals, because we have come out and said we want to be active citizens in this country. So he linked the programs with what we are doing as PPF and the role that we can play or we should be playing going forward. And he did that very well, and he also opened the floor for the members or the leaders of PPF to ask questions and engage him further based on the report that he delivered.